I liked those Vine guys. Those are cool.
Those were
they were fun.
Yeah, but for sure.
They rolled so well.
Yeah, it sounded like it. And I need to remember that I'm just super mobile and you can never hit me.
Yeah.
Before we get it too deep into this, guys,
open us up.
You're listening to this now. You likely know that this is the Crit Files, the once weekly follow-up podcast to the hit in at the end D&D actual play podcast, where we just wrapped up getting into it with some little like tree monster guys in a nice little garden outside of a evil witch's house or something. Which was like pretty cool. Valen did all the work. Ace did some heavy lifting.
I mean, I didn't do all the work, but yeah, I did kill 3 of them.
I really feel like we need to go back a little bit because there's stuff I want to talk about when we got to town.
Let's go ahead and rewind because, I felt the RP in this was like really strong. We started on the boat. Does anybody have strong feelings about that? Where do you want to take it, Milo? Let's hear this.
Yeah, I feel like, you have some thoughts.
Yeah, my big thing was when we got to the town, I went into it as the crazy ace that was going to F up some S and really just kind of cause all kinds of problems for the group. But really it was because I wanted to not be involved with the group because I wanted to go and do something that I thought you all would be against.
Oh, the letter.
Send them a letter.
Yeah. I sent a letter to my mother because...
Damn, that's pretty good because we would have been against that.
I remembered like how hurt she was like when I came back, and it was like, I don't want her to have to go through that again, not knowing where Ace was. So it was like, I need to let her know that I'm alive and I'm okay, regardless of whatever news she hears back. And my way of doing that was I'm just gonna be Ace and get away from the group.
Wow, that worked really well.
Yeah,
like not just role playing wise.
Like, please get away from us.
Yeah, even in real life, that was very effective.
Yeah. But I felt like that was really important for Ace because he did have that like strong feelings with his mom when he came back, and it was like, the group isn't going to want us to send it back. And I'm not going to want to tell the group that I am contacting people from home because I don't think they should be contacting anyone from home. This is a decision I'm making because I feel this way, but everyone else I don't think should do the same thing. Even Simon, who I was really kind of bonding with throughout this session, I was like, don't really, you shouldn't let your family know that you're alive.
Yeah, the wheels are turning now. Like, geez.
Wow. That's really interesting.
You might get Simon's parents killed.
I mean,
does that bother Ace?
I would have smashed in the face of that other tabaxi.
Is that something that Ace even crosses his mind?
No, he doesn't really.
It's all about you.
Yeah, he sees, okay, this is something that's going to affect me.
Yeah.
So everyone else, it doesn't really matter to him. He just doesn't want to face the blowback of you guys being like, no, you can't contact anybody from home. But yeah, I was thinking about that when we were on the ship. I was like, I'm definitely going to contact home. It's like, I can just do some Ace shit.
And it worked.
And it worked. You guys didn't even suspect it. It sounds like even now.
No.
Accurate.
Nailed it. Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting getting rolling into, adventuring again a little bit. It's like we have all this opportunity in front of us, and for the first time it's like we didn't have this like clear-cut path in front of us. Figuring out where to go. I know that Ben kind of was like, well, we should go do this. And, mostly it was just because, I don't know. I don't know if Ben has any clear motives, but it felt more interesting than just like manual labor and things like that. But the idea of interacting more with the world of Haven sounded interesting as well. He's talking about the things that the mages are out here doing. And like, one thing that was a little bit more absent the last time we were in Haven was a lot of, not quite, but like a lot of this aura-powered stuff, like the airships. like we talked about that the last time we were here in the other campaign, but being able to see it, being able to have it a little bit, and especially these people like shooting us with aura powered like sticks and stuff, like.
Dude, if we could get Brooch an aura-powered ship, that would be so dope.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
And justify putting his ship up as collateral, you know? So
I don't even think he knows that we're putting it up as collateral. I don't think we ever told him.
no.
He knows. He knows how things work. He's fine with it.
Oh, he's fine
It's just
with it.
it's your randos from wherever. How do they know they can just give you some gold? we got your boat.
Yeah.
I was thinking that happened a little too easy, and then he's like, yeah, collateral. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a racket they got going. They find all the idiots that think they're adventurers and just take their shit. But yeah, I was really excited when we got to the town and like the prospect of like dark magic happening and things like this.
I want to roll back a little bit to Coconut Bill and
yeah.
the amount of effort we put in so we could contact him again later.
He's a good person to have in your pocket, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, yeah, it's great to have these recurring characters. You don't want to feel like we wasted time, and he was just, eccentric enough and likable enough and interesting enough that if he popped back, like if this was like a TV show, I'd want to see him again.
Yeah, for sure.
Coconut Bill is definitely going to make a reappearance.
Right. Exactly.
Like
can he not?
we're going to be in like a dire situation, like end game or something, and then Alex will be like, there up on the east on the 5th day you will see, and then it'll be fucking
Look to the
like
sky.
Lord look to the sky. It'll be, hey now there, y'all need help.
I brought my
yeah.
crew, and they're like,
This guy.
He's shirtless on a pony with Brooch, and they're kissing, and we're like, hell yeah.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Bruce didn't really seem like he liked him all that much.
I think he was just holding it back because he was with his bros.
Yeah, he's a little embarrassed.
About what? Coconut Bill was pretty badass.
Well, I don't know, you know.
He's like an
Maybe he's
old
waiting to
man
see how we
pirate,
reacted.
and yeah, he wanted to know what we really thought of
Yeah.
the idea of him and Coconut Bill.
We all grew up in Colton Bay. What's there to worry about?
Coconut Bill.
Yeah, there's a deep, rich history of why he feels the way he does about it.
No.
And that's up to you guys to explore if you want.
Let's
You gotta hit those dialogue options if you want to
Yeah.
Let's
unlock.
spend an entire episode understanding Brooch's sexuality.
Let's think about this.
I like the idea that Coconut Bill is just waiting for Frank.
for Frank.
Last of Us? Anybody?
Oh my gosh. I knew exactly what you were referencing,
And
and
you
I
just
was
tried
like,
to ignore
I
me.
don't want to
Nice
get
try.
into this.
Nice try. Television show Last of Us. Very excellent. HBO, check it out. But yeah, no, that sounds great. I'd love to explore Coconut Bill and Breach's like their relationship a little bit more, you know?
Anybody that listens to this, if you write fanfic, please let us know.
Yeah, we're interested to hear what you have to say. We're commissioning fanfic pieces now. Draw us your picks.
So I tried to climb up a hedge, trying to peek out.
Yeah, so
trying to see.
the
we
magic of the
can't
hedge,
forget
first of
about all of the meat pie children.
Yeah. No, we can't. You won't let us. You keep bringing it up.
Yeah.
Really adamant about that.
That's my whole
I'm
thing
beginning to
with
think
Ace.
you make meat children.
I did.
pies.
I just want him to focus on one thing, and then he's like, guys, this is what is happening.
Now, when you got stuck overseas for your 3 years, was that like a common thing that happened? Like, where did you get this idea?
sometimes you just got to eat teenagers or children
Wow.
in pies.
It's a very
All right.
pie-based economy over there.
On the record.
I do. I mean, I liked the idea. It was dark, reminded me of like Arya Stark feeding the
Oh, yeah.
the Frey children as pies to their dad. It was
Yeah,
pretty
that was
fucked
pretty
up.
good.
A darker Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going with, was like those fairy tale stories.
Yeah.
Like, there's this evil witch and she makes children into pies.
And I love the vibe. Yeah.
And I was honestly, we're going to their house. I was like, hope there's no ovens, like.
Yeah, you see the chimney smoke.
But I do.
Right.
I,
Yeah, there's chimney smoke.
the scene you have set and the characters that Simon is with is awesome. I think like it fits the vibe of where we are right now. Him with his creepy sensor, like in the middle of the night and he's looking dead, and then we've got this guy over here looking a little bit better.
but still
just
dead.
a little bit.
Yeah, but
Dead.
but equally like there's some real creep, vibe to it, and it just I Caleb loves it. So
Yeah. I think this little quest that you guys are on, this is one of the earlier ones I came up with thinking of things to put out in the world to explore. And so I definitely thinking about what would be interesting, what would look cool with the characters, what's the vibe we're going for.
I was definitely
and
getting
very much
major Labyrinth vibes.
Oh yeah,
like,
for
from
sure.
the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like, the way the maze like changed its shape and stuff as we entered it. It was like, okay, well, there's oh god, who's that musician?
David Bowie.
David Bowie. Like just standing there at the end of the road.
Yeah.
bulge and all.
Yeah.
And he's like, greeting, Major Tom.
But stealing children, kind of that kind of like very scary thing, and this
What
idea
David
of us
Bowie was most
building this up from from you guys as kids from this town. It was like that's where I thought it was a good
Yeah, I like that.
And
through
yeah, there
line
was
or
like a little
connection.
bit of a throwback as us as children, and we were kind of talking about I forget.
and a very kind of
exactly.
similar town, this
Yeah.
coastal town. That,
I did casually throw out, as children, we know like how egregious this is or something like that, which felt like a line that
I was a kid once.
yeah.
that was good.
Yeah, which was really good because not all campaigns really know what it was like as our characters as
Right.
children, because
Right.
we actually experienced it,
Right.
which was fun to think about.
I'm just kind of excited as Ben to come up against like what feels like some real evil,
Yeah.
some real evil that to sink my axe into, and we get to look like heroes.
I need to remember to use all of my features and not get hit by things that I shouldn't get hit by.
Yeah. Like I said, it's really hard when you have a big action economy and you're trying to juggle all of these things happening.
Yeah, and
all
that's the thing is I
time.
have a huge amount of action economy.
Yeah.
Like, everything I do, it's bonus actions and reactions and just things that happen.
Yeah.
Like I move away and I don't provoke opportunity attacks.
Yeah.
Is a pretty big thing about my movement feat.
Pretty cool. How did so going into this, what do we think is actually happening here with the caretaker and the town and this maze? Do we think so far we're on the right track that it's like the caretaker is a witch? And then also, like, I meant to ask you this, Dash. Were you,
Yeah.
the person that you talked to, was that the witch, you think, or was that like some other deity
That was
that's
what
maybe
I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking that's
I don't
why
know.
when you were talking to them, I was like, "Yeah, tell them that way they just open the door."
Because they
and we can
actually
come in.
said, I have a lot of kids already, but I'm always looking for more.
Yeah,
Right. It could be. I don't know.
maybe the caretaker is like possessed. By
I feel
a
like it's
demon or something.
another higher level kind of demon that you were able to tap into.
I mean, knowing Alex is not going to be as convenient as the person we're
Yeah,
after. It's
yeah.
probably something that is long term really going to affect me. That's why I was like,
But when I was watching Alex, like I saw his mind like turning, and I'm like, oh, he's coming up with ideas.
It's a fertile
for what
field.
this is.
Yeah.
To choose from.
He went through the list of demons from the Lesser Seal of Solomon, and
I just thought it would be a fun thing to do. And I mean, it makes sense because, I mean, he had this, my character who was so, like, super religious and has turned his back on whatever. He still seeks something. It's kind of like when people who, like, grew up Christian get into, like, super into, like, astrology. Like, they still seek spiritual in some manner. So in my mind, I was like, well, that would make sense if Valen is like, well, I am this thing. Maybe there's something out there that can, like, help me with this and guide me in my,
cool.
and
Yeah.
I don't know. It just kind of made sense to me. And like, yeah, it might fuck things up.
I think it's worth it. Just the added layer of.
Yeah, I just think it's like
Story. It's
interesting.
and the fact that you came back, you didn't mention a single thing to anybody.
No,
No, of course not.
no, of course not.
What do you think though? Like you kind of were talking to this creature. You're like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Like when it comes time to pay up or whatever, if we're faced with that, like what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I mean,
Find out in the moment.
It really depends probably on what the price is.
yeah, it depends on.
He was bringing more people.
what the final ask is, and what they do for me in return. So I don't know. We'll have to see, and that's kind of part of the fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is going to do long term, and it's kind of fun.
Kind of the bigger like meta gaming thing is like, how do we all feel about characters having our own like individual like motivations and things within the gameplay? Like my character like went off intentionally to contact someone who could be bad for the whole group, or Dash's character went off and contacted a deity or a creature that could potentially be harmful to our group.
I mean, what's great though is that like any good story, all these individual motivations always come to surface in the group, and they always come back to at least play some role. So everyone always ends up finding out anyways. You know what I mean? And as players, like, that. But as a character, you go like, this will just be my little secret. But like as a viewer, you're like, oh, that's gonna fucking bite everyone in the ass, dude. Everyone's gonna find out.
Major problem.
Yeah,
which I think is fun. And I think that's a fun part of like
It
the group role play is the individual things. Even though we know eventually everyone's going to know.
Yeah, because we wouldn't do it if it was just like a secret that just me and Alex would have.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
What fun is that?
The intention is we know everyone's going to find out.
Yeah.
And
Eventually, there's going to be this thing that happens.
Yeah.
A big
and
payoff.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
think-
we all got to watch it unfold.
I think starting the characters from children and then teenagers, going through that lends itself well to this kind of story, having those threads because we know where they come from. We know how deep those threads are.
Yeah.
It really kind of ties everything together. I think being able to have those kind of secret little missions you can lay the breadcrumbs from, lay the seeds for.
Breadcrumbs. It's definitely Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
Nailed
Make
it.
pies.
You got it.
You let that one slip, Alex. Dummy.
Wow, what a fool.
Where are the
Oh.
breadcrumbs?
Let me just change all of this.
Shit, it's not Hansel and Gretel anymore. Yeah, I guess Ben needs to get his own secret motivations now.
No.
I mean, it's
We've got enough going on with these two.
fine with not having secret motivation.
Yeah.
It's fun to play with a couple of them at a time. I'm really enjoying seeing Dash's character kind of take the lead in the group. I feel like that is an interesting path that we're kind of going down.
Yeah, especially with, that I'm making side deals with deities.
I mean, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's fun to see.
Think about that.
Well, I mean, we all have a reason to lead, and we all have a reason to not lead as well. You know what I mean? Like, we all have a motivation to be in charge. Ace, obviously. Simon wants to be in charge. You're stoic enough and resolute to be in charge. We also all have very obvious reasons to not want to be
We
in
shouldn't
charge.
be in charge.
None of us should be in charge. Yeah. So
I feel like Simon is the one who should be in charge, and he wants
And
to be in charge.
it makes the most sense.
And I don't know that he really wants it, but I feel like he feels like he's got skills, but he's not confident enough in his skills to speak up and say, "Oh, I can handle this, guys."
Is this like the real Caleb, though?
No, I'll tell you. I'll tell you if I want.
He's like, guys, I really want to be in charge of the podcast
Yeah.
now. Alex, I'm going to be the DM. You can play
Yeah.
Simon.
He pulls
leave
his
from
gun
behind.
out.
I wasn't kidding.
Bringing it back.
By the way,
Yeah.
enjoy those drinks, fuckers.
But yeah, I think Simon's ability, and just because he is a little bit more hard on the sleeve, like it
What?
it kind of
on this.
What does that mean?
heart. You wear your heart on the
Oh.
sleeve.
Heart on the
I thought you said hard on the sleeve.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
damn,
did,
hard on the
but-
sleeve. Is this some sort of like fucking poker terminology or something, you know?
He's got a
Yeah.
hard on sleeve.
Yeah.
Ace, you're standing too close
Nice.
to me.
Your sleeve is just so hard.
But yeah, so like his tracking skills and all his survival stuff, I feel like he knows that he's probably got a little more solid of a grasp on that just from his background training. But he's very much wanting to empower and encourage others to do it too. Like he wants everybody to be successful. He's not trying to like be the leader, but I feel like
I do think with Simon's background, Simon trained to be this one person, army,
An
almost.
autonomous.
That was the whole idea with the Foresters, is they could go out and do stuff by themselves. They didn't need anybody else.
Bingo.
They could go tackle those things. So being in this kind of dynamic was not what Simon was expecting
And
coming back to Quilton.
And so his personality then kind of takes hold, and he kind of shrinks back as a result, I think. And that's why he didn't really talk about I know what you're thinking, and it's not true.
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay. Anyway, but that's why he climbed up the bush. I mean, he wanted to try to help us out and see where we can go and what's ahead and stuff, but
yeah, the creepy
sometimes
bush trying to like suck you in was very evocative.
that was cool.
Yeah.
It was a good way to set everything kind of
Yeah, I
ablaze.
definitely wasn't a fan of the scary specter thing coming out from behind me. And
Yeah.
So do you think it's just gone
doing a
temporarily?
bunch of psychic damage.
I bet you that's
Like,
like something
Which
because
I
your belt?
can't block from at all.
It's something to do-
even if I was a bear.
right. Yeah. Something to do with the hag, probably. Could be the hag. Maybe it's
I
the
feel
spirit.
like
You think
she
at
might
the
just
front?
be coasting around out here. It's possible.
Yeah, she wants to see what's up. And
One
a
other
ring-
thing I
ring a
wanted
bell, she's like,
to talk about was Ace and Simon and the new cooking thing that we are establishing, doing the sushi out at
nice.
sea.
Yeah.
And then, like when I came into town, I was like, hey, let's make a roast. Let's make a nice roast with.
I'm down.
We find some potatoes.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, every meal you guys level up just a tiny bit.
But everybody else doesn't eat food, so it's just you and me.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a
You
good
guys
point.
are just making a couple's dinner every time.
It's gonna be like the finer things on The Office. We're gonna have a nice tablecloth and high tea. And
You and I drinking some nice tea, eating a good dinner. And it's like, you guys want to join?
Yeah. We're talking about Moby Dick today.
I too have seen a white whale. Just call me Ishmael.
It ate you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Sorry, I was talking about the well.
Oh, whale. Yeah.
Call back.
Yeah.
Call back.
Yeah.
'Cause remember?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, Milo being a little inebriated and saying the wrong word.
I thought it was cute. I am really excited to see where this goes. For what, one thing about Ben so far is that I felt very strongly some of the characterization about Ben and his like repulsion of evil and stuff. But being able to call out the witch before we marched in here felt like finally Ben got to be Ben a little bit. you know?
Yeah.
I feel like this is kind of your guys' realm.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking beat this person up. We're just gonna take turns, just wailing on her.
Well,
Maybe.
Like I said, wizard.
You
light,
guys will.
You know?
Or Alex could just kill us.
Yeah.
I don't
True.
know. I'm enjoying being Ace and still being Ace, where I walk up and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to kill you. Even though it's not my plan, not my idea, not my realm to really be participating in.
I thought it was perfect. I thought for sure she was gonna surrender, but
So
It was close. It was close.
where are you at? Is she evil or is she good?
I'm leaning towards the fact that she is possessed by an evil.
So inherently she's okay, but
yeah,
something got
I think,
her.
yeah, something got her. Whether or not she's okay, I don't know. But the person themselves, not bad. The thing, bad.
Okay. What about you, Milo?
I think she's turned against the town, seeing the way the children are being brought up and these teenagers that are causing all this grief. She's like, nah, I'm going to take charge and these children be raised my way.
All right.
And she does that in a pretty intense way.
Well,
Yeah. If we don't believe that there is something recoverable here, then Ben can't believe that there's anything recoverable at Quilton.
because this to you is just another version?
I've been calling it like the darkness over Quilton, right? There's something that's like blocked the light of Melora, you know? And I feel like that's what's happening here too. There is something, this hasn't always been here. This is a very recent development. And
It's something that can be squashed.
right, you know, it's exactly. It's something that could be sort of fixed.
And if not, then that's a bad sign for you.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Dash?
I think the kids are evil. That's what I'm going with.
Kids are
She's probably just tired.
Protecting the
Meanwhile,
town from all the
we're
children.
she built a labyrinth to keep these evil kids in.
Welcome.
Yeah, they
The
weren't.
caretaker's actually good.
They weren't old and wise enough to know that if you just follow it right all the way around.
See,
eventually-
that's the thing. You just
Seriously,
always go
I've
right.
got something.
She's a time-traveling witch. She's picking up kids that are just, evil, tyrannical
Troublemakers.
members. And
Yeah.
just kicks them and puts them in a little
She's
thing.
got all of Haven's little
like
Hitlers
that.
here.
Exactly,
So what happened to the teenagers?
Haven's Hitlers.
I don't know
That's like Muppet Babies.
Oh god.
Yeah.
That's the dark
Haven's
Muppet Babies.
Hitlers.
Yeah.
Hello, I prefer Haven's little Hitlers. Okay,
Lil.
Lil, yeah, Haven's little
Lil.
Hitlers.
Oh boy, oh boy,
Yeah.
oh boy.
Well, I feel like I
Wait.
should.
What do you think?
Yeah,
Is she evil or is she good?
I think that she may not even be a she.
oh,
Maybe she's not even a witch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we already had that warlock versus witch moment.
Yeah, Rhett. Thanks for that too.
well,
Yeah.
personally, I am an idiot. So there you go.
And there you have it.
Don't take anything I say literally. Well, I am going to go ahead and bring this in for a landing. Thanks so much, guys, for being here for the Crypt Files. Be sure to check out dndpodcast.org for access to all of our episodes, past and present, as well as the Crypt Files inbox, our weekly TTRPG-themed blog. If you don't feel like checking out the website for new content, let us do the work for you and subscribe to our newsletter, and you will receive weekly messages with the latest updates. Sign up at dndpodcast.org/subscribe. And if you want to support the End at the End, you can become a patron at patreon.com/End at the End.
See our stupid faces on.
Yeah, see our dumbass faces over there. We got video coming up. Or, hey, you can go to bit.ly/humblein while shopping at thehumblebundle.com in order to get yourself something fancy while helping us keep the lights on. Thanks for joining us around our proverbial podcast table. As always, we will return Monday here with your regularly scheduled episode of the In at the End, America and the world's #1 D&D actual play podcast.
We're an American podcast.
Yeah, we're
We're
true
an
patriots.
American podcast.
Yeah, we believe in freedom.
Okay. Let's.
The red, white, and blue.
Yeah. Let's,
These colors don't run, bitch.
We're changing our name to the Freedom Podcast.
Yeah.
Freedom Cast.
The In at the
Yeah, I was trying to think
West.
of something.
Yeah, there's.
Keys, Florida.
I mean, we've got something there.
Yeah.
We'll work on it.
we're the Proud Boys of Quilton.
No.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
there we go.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
Yeah.
We were all being kind of
Really,
like
Caleb?
elusive with this.
You guys were
vague.
beating around the bush. I've had enough of that tonight, so
We've had a lot of beating around bushes.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Okay,
Enough.
well, you heard it here first, folks.
Proud boys.
Jeez.
We will be back. Grab your sword and keep on adventuring.
Right. Well,
Why would anyone?
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
We aren't proud and we aren't boys.